Hey, so welcome to my YouTube channel. So today I'm back with another MCQ. This question is physiological responses to acute blood loss. So let's see what are the options we have, and I will explain your each part and we will answer the question. So first let's see what is this physiological. So physiological means responses from your body. Okay, so that means physiological. And if you say acute blood loss, in terms of blood loss there are two types of blood loss. So it can be as chronic and acute. And if you go in extensive with this blood loss, it also can be external bleeding and internal bleeding. Like you all know what are these external bleeding and also internal bleeding. And then now we will move on to the first option. So this is our first option, which says erythropoietin secretion. So does this include to acute blood loss? So let's see that. What is this erythropoietin? Erythropoietin is it's the abbreviation for that is EPO. As you all know, when you for a kidney patient normally they inject EPO, and also the abbreviation is also EPO. So it's an hormone that is present in your kidney, and also it can also be actually increases the erythropoiesis. So the RBC production and mostly occurs in this chronic blood loss. So as you all know, as you all understood now what is erythropoietin and also secretion. So as this question says acute loss, now it happens in the chronic thing, as in chronic blood loss. But since it says acute, and also there is a small secretion of, as in the small quantity of blood loss happening in acute as well, so we mark the answer as true. So we can say the answer is T. Okay, so I hope you understood this first part. Now let's move on to the second point. This is antidiuretic hormone. It is produced in the hypothalamus, right? So and then this increases actually the condition of blood loss, and also the hormone secretion happens in the hypothalamus. So the action ends up in the kidney, right? So when it ends up in the kidney, because there is what is this vasopressin? Vasopressin is the ADH antidiuretic hormone, which happens in the it's actually produced in the hypothalamus, and then there is an increase in the condition like blood loss. So the hormone secretion happens in the hypothalamus, action is in the kidney. Therefore this is wrong, so it says false because there is an increase in the vasopressin. Third option, which is the polyuna, and that is increased urine output, right? So which means increased urine output, and therefore this is also false, right? So the answer is false. And the next option, which is sympathetic stimulation. So what is this stimulation here? This is the increase of anything, right? So if you say of something which is of increase, then it activates the sympathetic action of the body. So sympathetic action is activated, right? And the sympathetic action is equal to heat rate and Stokes volume. So the action of the sympathetic system, therefore heart rate increases. When the heart rate increases, the renin angiotensin also increases. Therefore the blood retention and the power management, there will be blood loss, right? So there will be blood retention and power management, the blood loss. So for that is true. Option is thirst. So what does this mean? Is the physiological mechanism. This is a process which makes you thirsty, and so this happens in the hypothalamus because in a blood loss osmolality increases, so the body tries to decrease, right? So the water in the body decreases and increases the fluid intake. So therefore it happens, how does this happen is, the hypothalamus gets a signal to increase the water intake. Therefore, what you end up doing is you take more of the fluid intake. The answer here is also true. So it's useful, and if you found it useful, please do not forget to like, share and subscribe, and make sure to refer to the chapter blood loss and get a brief understanding of what this chapter is about, and what happens in the blood loss and the external internal bleeding and all that. So if you have any other questions for me to answer, let me know on the comments below, or you can DM me in my social sites, which is linked below.